Dividing fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, so when you're dividing fractions, the rule you need to remember is keep, change, flip. What that means is you keep the first fraction exactly how it is, you change the divide to multiply, and flip the second fraction. Okay, then of course you need to simplify fractions and or rewrite improper fractions as mixed numbers for your final answer. So when we look at the first one, we have 3/5 divided by 2/7. So it says to keep, we're going to keep that 3/5 exactly how it is. We're going to change that division to multiplication, and we're going to flip the second fraction. Okay, so now once you do that, we have a multiplication problem. Multiply straight across the numerators, straight across the denominators. 3 times 7 was 21. 5 times 2 is 10, but we have an improper fraction, so we need to change that to a mixed number. In case you forgot, we divide. The cowboy of 21 goes inside, the horse outside, 10. 10 goes into 21 2 times. Subtract, and when you get to the decimal point, stop dividing and put together your mixed number. Big number at top is your big whole number. Go around and you pick up 1/10. So then you end up with 2 1/10 for your final answer right there. Okay, so we keep the first fraction, we change the division to a multiplication symbol, and we flip the second fraction. All right, so now what happens if we're dividing with whole numbers? Well, just like with multiplying or any other time, we need to change our whole numbers into fractions, and to do that, you put the whole number over 1. Okay, then you follow your division rules, which is keep, change, flip. Okay, so the first thing you need to do on this is make sure that they are both in fraction form, and then you can follow the keep, change, flip. So over here, we're going to put a 1 underneath that 3. We're going to keep that first fraction, 3 over 1. We're going to change that division to multiplication, and we're going to flip this second fraction. So that's going to flip around and become 5 over 2. Now we need to follow our multiplication rules, which is multiply straight across. 3 times 5 is 15. 1 times 2 is 2. The improper fraction needs to change to a mixed number, so we divide it. 2 goes into 15 7 times. You're left with 1. Okay, so again, the top number, big number, is 7, and your 1/2. So your mixed number is 7 1/2. Now we look at the next example. 4/9 divided by 5. Well, the first thing we need to take care of is make sure that that whole number is a fraction by putting it over 1. We then keep the first fraction the same. Oh, let me draw that down further. Okay, you change the division to multiplication, and the second fraction flips. So instead of 5 over 1, it becomes 1/5. Keep the first fraction exactly how it is, change the division to multiplication, and flip that second fraction. Then multiply straight across both the numerator and denominator. So 4 times 1 gave you 4, and 9 times 5 gave you 45. This one, luckily, is not an improper fraction, and it is simplified all the way, so it is finished. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Dividing with mixed numbers. Now, just like any other time you're calculating with mixed numbers, the first thing you want to do is you want to rewrite your mixed numbers as improper fractions. Then you'll follow the division rules of keep, change, flip, and go on from there. So let's take a look at what we have. We have 7 1/5 divided by 3/4. So first thing I need to do is my check ma, multiply these two and add that in there. So when I do that, 7 times 5 gives me 35, and plus 1 is going to be 36. So I will have 36 over 5 now. So the problem says 36 over 5 divided by 3/4. Okay, so I'm going to keep that first new fraction, 36 over 5. I'm going to change that division to a multiplication, and I'm going to flip my second fraction and turn it into 4/3. Okay, from here, I multiply straight across. I end up with 36 times 4 of 144, 5 times 3, which equals 15. These numbers you can divide out a 3, and you end up with 48 over 5, but that's improper, so you have to keep going, and keep going by turning that improper fraction into a mixed number. So we divide. 5 goes into 48 9 times. And the new mixed number answer is 9 3/5. Okay, last one. Now we have a double mixed number. We have 1 1/5 divided by 2 1/4. Now both of those need to be changed to improper fractions first. We'll do the check mark, right? Multiply here, add there, multiply, and add. Okay, so when I do that, I will end up with 1 times 5, which is 5, plus 1 is 6, so 6 over 5 for this one. So I'd write it off to the side here, 6 over 5. My other fraction is going to be 2 times 4, which is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9, so this will be 9 over 4. Okay, so now I have, keep that first fraction, 6 over 5, change my division to multiplication, and flip this second fraction. Then from there, multiply straight across, 6 times 4 and 5 times 9. You'll end up with 24 over 45. They can be divided by 3. Again, if you don't know that off the top of your head, check out your multiplication chart. And once you divide 24 divided by 3, you get 8. 45 divided by 3, you get 15. And that is your final simplified answer. Okay, so just a reminder, when you're dividing with fractions or mixed numbers, you have the rule of keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction exactly how it is, change the division to multiplication, and flip the second fraction. But when you have whole numbers, you need to make sure that gets changed to a fraction before you keep, change, and flip. So put that number over 1. Then also, if you're dividing with mixed numbers, before you keep, change, and flip, you need to make sure those mixed numbers are changed into improper fractions, and then you can follow your division rules. Good luck.